So apparently the dragon is dead, you know, long live the dragon. I think he's been dead for a while, Jim, if I'm being honest. It should be the rebirth of a dragon, if I'm going to be honest again, because he isn't really dead, but he definitely needs some love. I don't think there's many players out there in the community that would dispute that fact, and he has needed a rework for quite some time. Be honest, I mean, put the incoming changes to self-damage or the anger that you're getting for that to one side just for a second, and consider Chroma's whole ability kit compared to other Warframes. Two abilities get used and then you run around just shooting stuff. The removal of self-damage with the mainline update possibly this week won't exactly break him. He will still be incredibly powerful. It will change how you get those buffs, but it is going to further highlight the fact that he was and has always been a bit of a one-trick pony. The boss killer or Eidolon hunter, where you would vex and ward up, you would gain those massive armor and damage buffs, and then you would run around killing everything in your path. That's coming from someone who has covered Chroma more than any other Warframe on his channel. I've got 16 videos just dedicated to Chroma alone. He was my favourite frame for the longest time. You couldn't convince me that he was bad or even boring. I would literally just laugh at you. But now more than ever, I feel like he deserves a proper bloody rework. When you see new Warframes like Wisp and like Gauss and how interactive they are and how good they are as well, along with some of the incredible reworks that some of our older Warframes got, like Oberon a long time ago, he is now one of my favourite frames. Wukong as well is incredibly enjoyable to play. It highlights just how boring Chroma is. Now again, this is just my opinion. I'm sure a lot of you will have a completely different opinion, which you're fine having that. We do heavily, of course, rely on those Vex buffs for Chroma. He's nothing without them. I mean, he's meant to be a bloody dragon, a pure badass type of character, but he's relegated to just one role, killing Eidolons. Right now, that's it. He was nerfed over a year ago to stop us killing Eidolons, which is ironic, as fast as we were. And even with that nerf, he is still killing anything from 18 to 20 Eidolons in one night cycle. Be honest in the comment section below, how many of you actually use Chroma? Now, how many of you use Chroma outside of those Eidolon or those orb fights? And then the bigger question is, how many of you are angry with the self-damage Chroma changes because other players are angry? Because this game, I feel, has definitely generated a culture of players getting angry because someone else got angry and has forced their opinion on you, and it ends up this terrible snowball effect. Now, with the self-damage removal from Warframe, you're not going to be able to give yourself those buffs. You're going to have to rely on enemies to bump up your Scorn and your Fury buff. So a bit slower. It's definitely going to be slower for you to generate those. But there might be a bigger issue with his abilities and the addition of shield gating, which might further slow down how fast Chroma can get those two buffs. Scorn needs you to lose 400 shield in order to maximize the armor buff that you can get from it, and Fury needs you to lose 100 health to maximize the damage buff that you can get from that. Now, the new Tenno type of armor system coming with mainline this week will give your shields a 25% damage reduction, while also giving you a very slight window of damage immunity once that shield breaks. Slash damage will also no longer bypass your shield to deal direct health damage. So it's going to take you that little bit longer to generate the buffs because of this, because slash damage doesn't bypass your shield, because you've got that damage reduction on your shield as well. So you're going to have to wait for your shield to get destroyed, then the immunity to disappear before you can start to gain his Fury buff. So again, slowing it down just a little bit. Now, it might not be as bad, but it does sound like it's going to be that little bit slower. It will still be achievable and you will still be incredibly powerful once you get those buffs running. You just won't have the self-damage and you're going to have that little bit of, I guess, a slowdown as well. So when they said during the dev stream that the meta might shift within the community in relation to Warframes and weapons, they weren't lying. Other Warframes might be better off doing things once this mainline update hits, especially with the addition of the shield gating. You might see much weaker Warframes now being really tanky and hard to kill. Like Mag, I guess. Mag could be one of the best frames in the game. Shai's going to be fucking delighted. But Chroma, who was already a one-trick pony with a very simple playstyle, is now going to take that little bit more work in order to achieve the same buffs that he had before. But feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below, what you think of the changes coming to self-damage. It's not about skill or losing or a lack of skill, people not being able to aim at their feet. It's always been about the janky AI within Warframe, like your sentinel floating in front of your shots, enemies running in front of you or teleporting in front of you just as you shoot, a door closing in front of you just as you shoot, or even your pets running in front of you or teammates. So that's, I think, more than anything why players wanted the self-damage being removed from the game. I was okay with it. I was getting used to using the Brahma, but I was still blowing myself up once or twice a mission. Do me a huge favour, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more Warframe, and as always, thanks very much for watching.